or moving for the Spanish La Liga, and even the Champions League or moving the semi-finals, or moving the Copa del Rey and the Supercopa Hispana, and they were able to win all these competitions. I think that Barca, I was say it's me a congratulatory But to start with now, this was a particular young team last season. When Xavi Hernandez, before say the season, I said your both season you know, he told Juan Laporta point blank said, this is not the kind of team will beat me used to compete both in the Champions League, Spanish La Liga, and any other competition at FC Barcelona. It beats my final will beat my compete with Real Madrid. Because at that time, Real Madrid are killing Mbappe, but our Vinicius Junior, our Rodrigo de Guez, our Dani Ceballos, or a lot of squad in data. When it comes to all competing in any other competition, you clearly imagine say Madrid at that time, the kind of players number one, not top notch. But with Barcelona, this is a particular team. Xavi Hernandez buy and offer a lot of young players from the La Masia or Diomaba. And you can clearly imagine that these young players they've not been able to prove themselves much under the side of Xavi Hernandez. So you thought that's why I say under or no. The side of FC Barcelona will need to spend a lot of money, and they will need to go to the transfer market and buy a lot of money. Buy a lot of players. And they are all shaping the project of Barcelona. They will get quality football players. Take on the project on that particular first spot. But as some common one Laporta, the Osaka Football Club. There came a certain Hansi Flick who was a tried and tested Serie A winner for the side of Bayern Munich Football Club, and even during the time of coaching the side of the German national team, he did wonderfully well for that Barcelona national team. But coming on to FC Barcelona, he had no kind of excuse than to use the raw materials not available to him for him to perform. So when he came, a lot of people had doubted the energy and the kind of project that Hansi Flick would try as much as possible to use this group of players at his hand to make sure that Barca will come back and compete at the very top spot. But Obi Oba Barcelona be a successful Biano. It is a particular principle like Barca. Barca identity, Barca DNA, and the DNA and identity Biano was written by Johan Cruyff. The 14 principles of Johan Cruyff now. Obi Oba Barca Biano or winning a lot of competition, winning a lot of trophy Barca now. Or you should that particular 14 principles now. The side of Frank Rijkaard will be winning champion, winning Spanish La Liga, a lot of things about Barcelona now. He was able to use that 14 principles of Johan Cruyff. Then we talk about Pep Guardiola, also formulating an advancement of Johan Cruyff, the kind of DNA with toward the FC Barcelona, using that particular 1992 team or the winning that Champions League. It was a certain Johan Cruyff, the child, that particular DNA, and to my FC Barcelona. Flick Bayern, he needed to blend that kind of tiki-taka or high-line defensive system. Not making sure that Barca will become a top notch. Now, Barca is striving very well. Without the financial insecurity and Barca AFs, he has been able to use these young players as Xavi Hernandez failed to use them to win a lot of trophies. We are seeing Hansi Flick, who has been able to use a lot of these players winning those kind of things. It's me about the side of FC Barca. And now, I can say, the favorite moment with Barcelona moving this particular trophy, is a particular time no winning the 4 Clásicos or Multimisia against the side of Real Madrid Football Club. Whether we like it or not, the 3 El Clásicos are Hansi Flick, ABOU Edietia, the side of Real Madrid Football Club now. Hansi Flick has been able to win a trophy against Real Madrid Football Club this season. Supercopa Hispana. He won it at the Spence and not the Real Madrid Football Club. When you talk about the Copa del Rey, at the time of Copa del Rey, Real Madrid Football Club, coming back, Abel by 2-1. He came back in a remontada to overturn the scoreline of winning 4-3 against the side of Real Madrid Football Club. And just last weekend, Sunday's week,
and I think Madrid, Copa del Rey 3-2.
3-2. Yeah, 3-2. And just last weekend's week, he had that kind of option because of say Barca losing a point against Real Madrid Football Club. In Madrid will actually have a point to try as much as possible. Say, win the Spanish La Liga, but then Barca won the La Liga at the game against Real Madrid Football Club over the weekends. Winning against Real Madrid Football Club by 4-3. So it tells you, say, not only say all dominating in most of the competitions are what you find yourself for FC Barcelona, but then 3 competitions out of finding yourself against the side of Real Madrid Football Club. He has been able to make sure so we winning against Real Madrid in the Clásico wins with Magic trophies. Ediama the side of Barcelona Football Club. The last time Barca in 4 consecutive wins in the El Clásico against Real Madrid Football Club was the early 1980s. Our team conjured that particular magic as a basic football club for the side of FC Barcelona. But for this particular season, the kind of remontada FC Barcelona under Hansi Flick has been splendid for the side of Barcelona. So against Valencia, they came back to win that particular game 2-1 against Valencia. Rayo Vallecano only need 2-1 against Rayo Vallecano. And then Real Madrid Football Club Supercopa España against Benfica. Omobo in the Champions League, Sa game the chance here in the early stages and in the Champions League, the basic remontada against some of the elite clubs in the Champions League, winning 5-4 against the side of Benfica in the Champions League. Atletico Madrid Ushered by 4-2 against Celta Vigo, Ushered by 4-3. And against Real Madrid Football Club in the Copa del Rey final, he scored Real Madrid Football Club by 3-2. Against Real Valladolid, he scored them by 2-1. And then against Madrid again over the weekend, he scored Madrid by 4 goals. So it tells you, say, not only about winning, but then he dominated in making sure the proper comebacks. And they will Spain, the Real Madrid Football Club, or made the proper comeback kings, the side of Hansi Flick has made sure that these kind of players, and I said, this kind of team will become also Barca. They will compete and become a proper comeback kings for the side of FC Barcelona. Maybe they will share Biano, or maybe she will be at that particular level. But here can you say, not only about the comeback kings which made them at the side of FC Barcelona, but when you talk about the attacking trio of FC Barca, he has been able to use so many strikers, so many teams, adding a lot of goal scoring tally for himself this particular season for the side of FC Barcelona. And in that particular season, you are seeing the side of Lamine Yamal last season. In the last 53 appearances for the side of FC Barcelona, scoring 17 goals plus 25 assists for the side of FC Barcelona, making sure that he will dominate in that particular era. Ferran Torres will give you 2 goal-digit numbers. And then the side of Robert Lewandowski will give you 40 goals in a season under the watch of Hansi Flick. It tells you, say, Rafinha or Munina Esche close to about 25 goals in the season, plus goal-scoring contributions. It tells you Hansi Flick has prepared a good nature for the side of Barcelona this particular season for himself. And I think, say, he deserved that particular accolade. I will see about Barcelona making sure, say, in the next season, winning a lot of competition, he should maintain the consistency winning streak for Barca in the next season. Because all winning in the early season, we don't want to see Barca suffer in the next season to come out. My
over to us about Messi give it on corner anymore. Now on share who's a Barca for the Befa. Romasha say arrive where Maunze draw to Hene. Watch Chesney. A body Chibia, Nano Ketua. No, Nasem idea, Ricardo. Ya catch C4 so crying here no more fancy idea. Bonnie at you, no, sorry, to beach or baby, their friends at Chamai. What you good in that better good. Ready on the bus with a baby. Oh, give it. Kawaii anyone about Kubini de Itun Chamber, Bufia may not have no bassa for no bear arrive here, or mobile or more form of bass in your Mamma Kakra. Oh, now, Muyin Jangus, I might to trust mine.
But, DIABY, in the last 20 years, Barca experienced National League 12 times.
Last 20 years.
Last 20 years.
Ne 18 so Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Valencia,
in the last 20 years, the side of Barca team dominating, making sure that Madrid with 36 trophies in the Spanish La Liga, Barca with 28 trophies, and Atletico Madrid with 11 trophies. Atletico Bilbao 8 and Valencia 6. It tells you that they've dominated. Barca dominating. So we'll share the difference of trophies at that Barca and Madrid in Tema. It's just 8. And in the next 5 years, Barca to continue closing in the Gaba. Barca will get close to Madrid, and that bigger club that was Spain. I think Barca will reach that particular level.
Now, Champions League as well. Huh? Nice job. No, for Champions League. I don't like how it is. I don't know. Yeah, I also play, my too. Okay, we all had you. So I'm bala. I come at I don't say. Every how many years as I was at all.
And this is a 15. It's the next 10 years. What do you mean we need for the first?
What do you mean next 10 years? 10
years.
Baba, we are seeing the power issue. I don't know that.
Oh yes.
I believe the Gilbert when I ready, I might show more to us on the idea, but Gilbert in money, timer, or Mukoko really arrival. No, also much shiawo near Canasay. Spotify company anymore ti on bass ni ni CH on na wa hu so mo chia president afre we ni ade a office from president so ma yejuma na uni de esre pa se onya ba ku bi ni ma me ade me tu sisi ala bass afo ni be du yo wujira bass no omo ye ejuma Spotify company wo omo nyina je ejuma no
ana wa be
jira all of uza ju for bi jeje show
after party
na for bi jeje show e dis onya no crab po de ma me nanka ye hwe wi ni ade a obo uze bass no so ni say
28 na show no
28
next month ko
28 no 28 no
I say 28
be feel
pa
yeah
no man for you fu man ya kono Ghana ha get kai actually who goose only near the beat the actually na no be a team because you need go cooperate just na beat the actually goose only the actually kroma obi to pass ke ni
and I don't know what my eyes are kono mo yu bass no so na de kunya bi asi
the last time Kodokoji league kuma we so mo ye parade so go mu ka mo ko parade
goose only
ese dem come as go kuma
goose only
say ye be come as ma mo si ano ya e ya come as mo be dem amfo ye
goose only
mo si ade okuma o club
bass we dey do
I not share video manage ba o
to last time
I not share video
so who parade
na kwani movie ka ko ha di nti o mo bre manage ba
we omo ba be do here time omo ba be fu no and omo ye
chama na ba fu first
ana afu ti omo koku du ye no na ahwe omo jo mani no give it mama ba ko na mama ni je
star boy amagine ni o star boy na
so ba ko no omo koku du ba se no omo ye adwuma ni nyina je adwuma no era omo ba be hwe omo e na ba ku bi so ero so omo fo ye no jo to hene wa bone che Babone chela oye we ni ade
o ho kwan se cigar bi ope bi a
o timi
na okotwi cigar ni bi ni ade
o the brow we are na go bi
o say ayi ade na yi Barcelona yi la wa ba be je ni ade but very very interesting give us no na so why you na download na e bi ala ko ni awo tuma ya wi
okope we ni ba ro si de dada wi
unya na abone che no you are born you are born che no
sinama wanwa
Boniche kama Boniche
boni ama ti na wa say ahwehwe ni wa sisu
dube you ojili
but say ono baby no do no feel say brabo na ba
enche ombetu afa krom na say ho ne de bia yitimi man kofo hwe bi ye ndu oro na ya ba we ni ade na unya ba ko na on give ba ko no fe no wie ma
de give ba jina nzo
na we ni ade na enye ti Barcelona no mo parade no ayi wi a mo abomodin a masha ase anisa na adwuma na mo ye ni ani bro mo de awura no nya de keto akra tumu ze bibiri hye kama pede mo won ni
qualify for Champions League final commission abawi
agi ni aben Lami Yamal for Ballon d'Or 2025